Well, I wanted to see what the rhododendron bloom, and here we go. Back for Craggy Gardens, but this time for a segment of the MST with it. So you guys will remember I hiked this section, just a mile of it, almost by accident, when my dad visited last weekend for his birthday, but the rhododendron weren't open then. And we figured they'd probably be open this weekend. So I decided that even though I ran a half marathon this morning, I was going to come out and hike. So I think with all the random walking and the section that I planned for today, it's actually going to be a marathon day, which will be pretty cool because I didn't even get to do one of those when I was in the AT. So we'll see how this goes. And we've already reached the CCC shelter and their rhododendron in bloom. I'm excited. All right, so once you walk through the CCC shelter, if you go straight, that's the MST. We'll be doing that in a bit. But if you go left on this unmarked trail with stairs, then you can get up to the Bald, which we won't have very many views from today, but we will get to see a whole lot of rhododendron in bloom, and I'm really excited for that. Well, in terms of view, we have no view, but we have some flowers. The green tunnel just got that much prettier. I know there's no view today, but this gazebo is so beautiful. Figured I'd walk down to it anyway. Ta-da! Fog. So if you decide to do the gazebo, it is a loop trail out and back. So you enter maybe 0.05 up that way, and then loop out to the gazebo, and then loop back to this second entrance right here behind me. And trust me, you are not missing any of the trail, and it's a beautiful stop even if there is no view. Hello, little F. I haven't seen one of these since the AT. Look at him go. The twisted trees in the fog is so beautiful. Loving this. And we have a view. There's no view. That behind me is part of the big climb up to an unnamed summit that is almost a mile high. And there's still more to go. Just scared a bunny off of Lane Pinnacle. We're about 80 feet short of a mile up here. Still no view. And the trail definitely needs some TLC between the road and this point because it's so overgrown. I do a lot of tick checks. Oh, I didn't scare the bunny all the way away. He's right back there. You see him? Had to pause for a minute and question if I was actually still on trail because it is so overgrown. And I feel like I'm walking an old trail bed instead of a current one. There is a lot of greenery into this trail and it's a little bit sketchy, not gonna lie. Made it up to Rich Knob. It's a 4,000 footer. Well, not in the New England sense, but it is 4,845 feet. Well, the fog's finally cleared out a bit, so I can see a little something more of where I'm going. Still haven't had any views though. Right now I'm on my way down to a water source, so I'm not expecting to get any views anytime soon, but this area is really pretty, and it's nice that the trails open back up a little bit again so I can at least see the trail bed where I'm placing my feet. It's not a true spring box per se, but it does have water I need. Okay, so we're now entering the Rattlesnake Lodge area, and that's an old chimney from the site. And this was actually one of the first hikes I ever vlogged, was the Rattlesnake Lodge hike. So it's kind of fun to be back here again. But what we'll see in a little bit is the remains of, I think it was a physician who lived in this area up here in the woods and built this absolutely beautiful, well, I guess it was beautiful, I don't know, they have a lot of pictures of it, mansion. And when I say mansion, I mean it was just a really big cabin style house, but it did have a swimming pool, a spring house, and a carriage house in the area. And it was called Rattlesnake Lodge, not because there were rattlesnakes in the area, but because the ceiling of the lodge was covered in rattlesnake skins. So just a little bit of history for you guys there, and I'll be showing you the sites here in a little bit. There are foundations of a building there, and the remnants of the spring house are up there somewhere, but I already have water, so I'm not doing extra mileage. There is a nice little pond over there, and we'll be continuing on MST. Okay, so I think when we came in on the MST, we passed the chimney for one of these caretakers cabins, obviously the spring house, which we didn't go up to, and then the remains that I pointed out when we first got down here was the tool shed above the generator stand, and we'll be following the retaining wall on the MST, going beside the remnants of the tennis court, and then the remnants of the swimming pool. So pretty cool stuff. Can we just talk about the fact that there was a swimming pool in the 1800s in the middle of the woods? How incredible is that? And here's the remnants of the barn. Yep. My first view. So I don't remember if I told you guys where I was actually going today. So I started at Craggy Gardens Visitor Center, and I'm hiking 11.2 miles to Craven Gap, which you guys will remember is where I actually started my lash of the MST. So I'm connecting that segment. I'm literally walking, running, and hiking a marathon today. Why? Just because the idea got in my head and I couldn't get rid of it, and decided I wanted to see if I could do it, because actually we never did it on the AT. Our longest day was 25.2 miles. So I ran a half marathon this morning and did about 2 miles of miscellaneous walking around the Rural Arts District where the half marathon finished. And now I'm doing 11.2 miles of hiking. So by the end of the day, I will have done at least, although probably more, than 26.2 miles. And I will be very proud of myself and extremely sore later. But I'll have done it. And that part makes me happy. So the weather forecast had it raining way earlier in the day, and potentially even thunderstorming around 5 o'clock. And it's now 6:15. And the rain is only just starting to fall. I only have about 1.5 miles left before I finish an emergent Craven Gap. So time to go into water resistant mode, AKA putting my phone in a bag. I've gone water resistant, and it is fashionable. You can still see a little of the mountains through the fog and the rain. I made it to Craven Gap. Man, it's coming down out here now. So it was just torrentially downpouring. I was not super wet until I had to put my umbrella down to get in my car. But I did finish the hike, and I'm so sad. My health app said I only did 25.7 miles today, but that does in fact surpass the longest hiking day that we did on the AT, which was 25.2. So even though it wasn't quite a marathon day, it almost was, and I'm still super proud of myself for what I did. Also, this section of trail was really fun. The only bad part was that one section from Potato Gap up until right before Rich Knob was super overgrown, and it actually was really dangerous because I couldn't see the trail, and I was getting like attacked by all of the grasses, the really thick grasses. So my trekking poles were getting stuck, and ticks can really easily hide in those grasses. So just be careful if you guys are out, and have fun. And there's the thunder. Thank goodness I got done before that. See you on the next segment, guys. Apparently my app hadn't refreshed. I did exactly 26.2 today, guys. I hit my marathon day. Woo!